My name is Pat Wilson, and my wife Anita and I have been members here at First Baptist Church Greensboro for almost 20 years. Well, in thinking about peace, I think about the times in my life when things have not gone as well as I would have hoped they would go. And during the midst of the crises that apparently I've been through, I've not been able to really sense the peace of Christ during that time. But it's looking back on that, I can sense that, and I can see His hand in helping me deal with those concerns that I was dealing with at the time, and that He knew exactly what it is that I needed during that time. And so it's awful hard to think of it, like I said, in the midst of it, but I think that looking back on it, I sense the calm and the peacefulness that I know comes from my relationship with Christ. Well, that piece to me is just giving things over, and there's all sorts of stress that we deal with on a daily basis, and whether it feels like it's on your shoulders or feels like it's on your heart, there's pressure there, and when I give it over to Christ, it just is an immediate release. Obviously, the issues are still there and you're still dealing with it, but you know that there's somebody there to help you out in that situation. And so just having that knowledge that He's there to help really provides me with that assurance that I need to be able to get through it and to be able to make some decisions that need to be made in a more peaceful manner, more reasoned manner, than to make decisions very emotional, off the cuff. And so I've really learned that over many crises that I've had in my life and the life of our family, is that there still is time to sort of back up, take a deep breath, and then try to determine the best path forward. Well, this season is very busy. There's a lot of hustle and bustle to the season, and certainly I'm involved in that as well. But to me, I also look at things a little differently this time of year, when I experience the season through my senses, and so I can see the Christmas decorations around at people's houses, at the church. You smell the trees. You smell the baked goods at your house or at a store, and then obviously tasting those as well. And then I sense things through hearing as well, but I also sense things through hearing of a lot of maybe nothingness, in terms of the fact that the holiday season, the Advent season, is closely tied to the winter solstice, and how the time is growing shorter, the days are growing shorter, and so there's more darkness. The weather is getting colder, and I like to walk at night, and it's a lot different walking at 7:30 in the summertime than there is walking at 7:30 during this time of year. And so there's really not a lot of noise. There's no animals, no birds chirping. And so especially on nights like we've had here recently, where it's very clear, the moon's out, their stars are out, that I get a sense of calmness because it gives me some time to contemplate the year past and think about the year coming up. And so, the quietness has really impacted me in that from an early age. And when I was a teenager, I would do the same thing, and I would look up at the sky during these months and think about, well, is that the same sky that Mary and Joseph were seeing? And was it a full moon? Was it cold? And just how quiet it was and how peaceful it was when Jesus was born, when it was just Mary and Joseph and Jesus there. And I put myself in that position and think about things that way, and it does give me it kind of brings me closer to the Christmas story. It kind of takes away all the stimuli, I guess, of the holiday season, and it goes back to what's the most important part of the holiday season, with Jesus being born. So and it also gives me a sense of of looking back on the year and thinking about the next year and say, well, what do I need to do to be a better, fill in the blank, better person, better father, better husband, better employee, better supervisor. So that, to me, that's what I do this time of year, and that's how I sort of take the season of busyness and sort of make it a season of quiet contemplation. Well, I know it's hard to do, but seek some quiet time. Seek some time away from the television, away from cell phones, away from earbuds, and just sort of let the nothingness and the silence sort of wash over you. And I always tell people, sometimes it's hard to get into your head, but just let yourself sort of get into your head and not have all that stimulation, and personalize things and think about how can I be a better Christian? How can I be a better friend? How can I be a better spouse? And really that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I recommend to anybody, is just to sort of do a self-evaluation and look and see where there's some rooms for improvement, and then try to implement that in the new year, because New Year's resolutions are coming up, but those typically don't go very well for people. But those are sort of just kind of fun things to do. But this is more of kind of a deeper sort of meaning, has a deeper meaning to them, and it's not something that's as tangible as quitting smoking or going on a diet, that sort of thing.